Thank you.
Okay, it is 10:31 on Thursday, December 18th. I'm Leslie Juby. Oh, I've got Reese's cups, which I'm passing on. I'd like to call the agriculture meeting to order. Could you call the roll, please?
Allen, Leonard,
Leonard here.
Hennessis,
Hennessis here.
Sanchez, Williams, Roth,
Roth here.
Juby here. Yay, the quorum. Yay. All righty. Do I have any remote attendance requests? Okay. Well, if we get somebody, does anybody have a problem with us letting them come?
No problem.
Well, depending on who it is.
Here? So, I mean, okay. All righty. I have public comment. I have our local historian, Mr. Shepro, who I'm going to let speak from here so he doesn't have to mess with his things. So Mr. Shepro, take it away.
Good morning, Ken Shepro, King County local historian, with your December 18th semi-quincentennial minute. On this date, December 18th, 1775, George Washington to John Hancock, at writing from Cambridge, Massachusetts Army headquarters, Boston being under siege at the moment by the Continental forces. Dear sir, Captain Manley of the Lee armed schooner took and sent into Beverly, that's a coastal town, the sloop Betsy, A. Atkinson master. She is an armed vessel dispatched by Lord Dunmore, who is the governor of Virginia, who is currently trying to rule from a ship out off the coast of Virginia, loaded with Indian corn, potatoes, and oats for the army in Boston, because they can't get any food from the countryside. The packets of letters found on board, I have the honor to send to you with this by Captain Chambers, they being of so much importance that I do not think it would be prudent to trust them by common mail. As Lord Dunmore's schemes are fully laid open in these letters, I need point out to the Congress the necessity there is of a vigorous exertion being adopted by them to possess his lordship of the stronghold he has got in Virginia. I do not mean to dictate, but I am sure they will pardon me for giving them freely my opinion, which is that the fate of America, a good deal, depends on his being obliged to evacuate Norfolk this winter or not. I have Kirkland well secured, and I think I will send him to you for examination. By most of the letters, he is a dangerous fellow. They are of very interesting nature. And we won't go into detail, but you may recall from an earlier presentation that Lord Dunmore has done the unspeakable, which is to offer freedom to any slaves of people in rebellion who run away and join the British Army. And eventually, the Continental Congress will decide that maybe they will offer the same deal and allow African Americans to enlist in the Continental Army, which they then began to do. And that is your semi-quincentennial minute for December the 18th.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions on your history lesson? No? Okay. Oh, Mr. Kenyon.
Will there be a chance?
When this happened, Mr. Kenyon?
I wore this hat to show you how things change. I'm old enough that I went to Chicago livestock. When they closed it on the south side. I mean, you had to be on the road by 5 o'clock or you'd be stuck in traffic. And then they moved Chicago to Joliet. Then it moved to Milwaukee. Now it's moved out of Milwaukee and you have to go to some suburbs. But we don't have any sales facility in Illinois. We have to go to Wisconsin.
So you want to open up the stockyards again?
Oh,
I'm sure the back of the yards neighborhood would be thrilled.
oh my God. There's a video of them and that's too hard to work.
Yeah, it's pretty bad work.
Our local people from South America would do it, but in fact, they do it now. They do all the hard work.
Yeah, stockyards are
And that's
tough.
I'll comment on that. And I noticed the big dairies are having trouble because the people from the government are stealing employees in whether they send them back wherever they came from or not, but it's pretty hard. I know in our case, we'd be up a you know what kind of a creek without a paddle.
Okay,
I don't like what's going on, but I can't control it any more than you.
I don't like it either. So we will move on.
Oh, I want one other comment.
Madam
No,
Chair,
we have, we take care of our own animals. And, I cannot buy penicillin for 3 months. It's
Animals or you?
animals. Well, it's probably the same thing, but it's manufactured in England and we haven't been able to buy it for at least 3 months. And I asked my source, can the veterinaries buy it? She said, no. I mean, this is what's world trade. It's all manufactured in one place. And I don't know if it has to do with tariffs or what, but there's a place in England and that other little country called Ireland that make this, but you cannot buy that antibiotic. And we use it and we actually vaccinate all our animals too. We've been vaccinating for 40 years. If you don't vaccinate, they die.
That's very true.
That's your,
All right, well,
that's your health update.
thank you. I will look into the penicillin shortage, and get back to you if there's anything.
I can text you the name of the company, but I thought it was just,
Yes, shoot me the name of the company and I'll just call them. So, because I do that.
yes,
I do.
should
Okay.
we'll unleash the.
Okay.
overseas
Unleash the
folks.
Kraken. Okay. All right. So, I don't see Steve here. So Bill, are you my farm updates?
Yes. and it
Madam
gets,
Chair.
rather-
Sir?
Jepro, ASA. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Did we approve the minutes?
No, we just didn't. No, we just
Okay.
skipped right over that. It's a holiday. We're not doing minutes
Roth
today.
will make a motion to unanimously approve
Okay.
the minutes.
Thank you. Anyone else? Can we just suspend the rules just in general? So no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll just take. them as-
I move for adjournment.
Okay, but we have a little bit of business we need to take care of first. So, okay. All right, Bill, you're on.
Okay, so, I'm reporting for Steve Arnold for the Kane County, Farm Bureau. I'm a director on the Farm Bureau. And, he gave me several things that we've accomplished in the last 3 weeks. The first one was our annual meeting, the Illinois Farm Bureau annual meeting was in Chicago. And we set 6 different policies that you probably are interested in. And I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of them. The new policy language calling for opposition to development of data centers, crypto mining operations, and similar facility that decrease the reliability of the electric grid and increase the electric costs to rural communities or have the potential to deplete the aquifers for a community it depends on. The next one is supporting expanding consumer and wholesale markets, opportunities for the Illinois poultry producers and process on the farm at USDA, FISA, limits, support for retailers to increase the ability of Illinois grown products in the Illinois Department of Agriculture advertising directly to consumers to purchase Illinois grown product. Next one is a new subheading on specialty crops calling for expanding the size and scope of specialty crop insurance tools, the permanent structure to deliver emergency economic assistance, expanding and permanent various direct purchase and procurement programs, support the industry research and grant programs that promote the new agronomy practices and technology partnership among industry participants, infrastructure development and adopt on-farm value-added activities. A new policy language supporting H2A work program administration calling for clarity in the H2A regulations for the administration. I think that goes back to what Mike was talking about. A new policy to support regenerative agricultural practices referring to the improvement of soil health and function and key principles, focusing on soil cover and minimal soil disturbance, keeping living roots at often as possible, maximizing biodiversity and integrating livestock within the context. I think Matt likes that one. Support the incentives being based on a menu of regenerative agriculture practice rather than prescriptive list policy, supporting regenerative practices in education, outreach and technical assistance around the value and implementation of regenerative agricultural practices. Those are the resolutions that were approved to go into the policy for Illinois Farm Bureau for this next year. On the other part of the annual meeting, we have new leadership. The IAA, they elected Phil Nelson, who is a grain and livestock farmer out of LaSalle County, as their new president. Also, we have a new representative representing King County. It's Joe White. He was elected to District 1, and that he actually he serves. Let me give you the counties here. So District 1 includes Kane, DeKalb, McHenry, and Lake counties. So King County has a voice again at the table at the state level. Not that we didn't have one through our former District 1, but this one's actually from King County. The other things that were successful at the annual meeting were the programs that King County Farm Bureau put on during the year, which was our Touch It Tractor, our Eat, Join, and Win promotion with the drive-through barbecues, the April meet and greet with the legislators and the county officials, local officials, and the tour of our Illinois Prairie Pollinator Rain Garden. And then also our King County Country Store was awarded a award. Joe White of Batavia was elected to the State Young Farmers Committee.
Different Joe White.
That's a different Joe White. That would actually, it would actually be his nephew.
Okay,
no.
because I was like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah. It's be
Okay.
his cousin's son.
Okay,
Whites are like the Smiths.
Yes. Some other accomplishments, the young farmers last Saturday completed their second annual truck of toys for the Community Santa Project. Thank you for anybody that participated. Today, they're actually over at the Heinz Greenhouse in St. Charles doing our citrus distribution and selling the holiday hams. Scholarship applications, and there's up to $50,000 available for the 26-27 are open, and they're on our website at kingcountyfb.com. And there's a QR code on there if you know anyone that wants to apply. The Everything Local Conference will be held January 28th through the 30th in Springfield. And that's all he gave me to talk about.
wow, he just made it really short today for you.
Yeah.
So, any questions,
Was.
Mr.
No
Kenyon?
question, but when T.R. Smith was here, those who remember him, he was invited to, and he was really impressed because it is grassroots and each county can propose changes in the policy. The policy is not law, but it's the way our people know what to try to get or to stop at the state and national level. But it comes from the county and it goes there and they talk about it. We like to talk. And to talk, and then they either approve it or not, and then we can take some of we can take whatever we want to the national and do that too. But it is from the people.
That's good, yeah.
It's a little different than anybody else.
I guess-
Policy is good. We like policy. So, and I'm glad Joe's from Kane County. Even though we are represented in District 1, it's always good to have somebody like from your county. So, Mr. Pennises,
I actually have two questions.
use your mic.
About it. Yep, sorry about that.
Okay, we don't make eye contact here.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm happy to see someone representing Kane County. How do we feel about this new leadership? I know there was like a little tension there. Are we happy with the new
Like that
leadership
little
that's taking
tiff
over
that's
at
going
yeah.
This should improve the TIF. Phil was actually the president 20 years ago.
No,
10 years?
12.
12 years ago.
10 or something. Like that.
Yes. So, and he is trying to take us back to the grassroots, which, the current administration kind of got away from.
And then regenerative agriculture, happy to hear a bunch of regenerative, that word regenerative was over and over. So that's exciting. I'm glad to see that.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That's
it.
very
That's all.
exciting.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to the Regional Office of Education to have them bump the scholarships? To send them to the local high schools so they can advertise them through their career centers?
I will tell Steve.
Yeah,
that's-
tell Steve.
The guidance counselor.
Yeah, but to bump it to the regional office too,
Want any more work?
whatever,
I already
okay,
Read 40 of them.
all right,
The holiday, right?
well, whatever, I think that, the more exposure we get, I realize the counselors all do it at the local high schools, but it's just nice if there's like an extra push from the ROE, so, yeah, that's good.
And the only other thing, and Steve didn't include this, but we do have, four people representing King County at the, AFB in Anaheim in January at their, annual meeting.
Oh, excellent, who do we have there?
Well, Steve will be going, Joe White, Dale Pitstick,
Going,
and, can't remember the fourth one. Oh, Brent Dietz.
oh, okay, so we've got some different ages
Yes.
represented and different,
Mhm.
okay, great, excellent. All right, any other questions for our Farm Bureau? No, okay. Kane DePage Soil and Water Conservation. I have someone totally new. Okay,
I am filling in for Kat today. so
Okay.
I didn't know where to sit exactly, so I don't know.
you're fine where you are. Just make sure you get close to the mic so we can hear you because,
Will.
we're a little older.
Yeah, no
So,
worries.
Okay,
We do have some slides up in there too, so if that's helpful, because I think we have a few. QR
visuals are always
codes.
good.
Something that's not on the slides though, mentioned from the NRCS, EQIP and CSP deadlines are going to be January 15th. Thank you. So if you are looking to do any of those programs or anything, especially with there's a new regenerative agriculture program. So please call into the office if you have questions regarding those or the new deadlines. But that's January 15th again. So for the update for the district here, we have fall covers for spring savings. So that's another program through the Illinois Department of Ag. Enrollment is open currently, so the pre-enrollment period has already gone on with that. It's first come, first serve for this. So please get that in. It seems to be a very popular program. So again, it's a new application format. So if you're not familiar with that, please try to get some eyes on it and apply early if you can. As well as any additional information. They have a how-to guide to kind of go through that. And you can always call into the district too, since we'll help with the implementation. We'll be doing any of the payouts and the verification for those programs. Then the QR code will just go directly to that, the website on the IDOA. Shortly after, so that again, the deadline is also January 15th. So we got a lot going on at that time. So that'll be when those application period closes. Once that closes, we have the iCover program. We don't have all of the information exactly what's the one that's gonna go on. But that'll be a 3-year commitment. So for cover crops for 26, 27, 28. It's only for fields that haven't previously done cover crops, or if you're doing a brand new technique. That's going to allow for earlier establishment. So that could be flying on, it could be planting green, anything like that. So we're going to be working with applicants to help confirm eligibility for anyone that gets selected for that, and then implementing and verifying any of those, as well as sending out the payments for those. Additional guidance and details are going to come soon, so I'm sure we'll have more updates in the upcoming year. For the farm weatherization rebate, we're working on with the county. We have 2 rebates that are issued to date. So if anybody is interested in that, feel free to reach out and we can help get those going through. On January 22nd, along with Kane County Sustainability, there is a celebration of Kane County Farms. This is a complimentary program that we're looking to put on. It's going to be at 5 p.m. at Emerald Acres out in Maple Park. We have a keynote speaker, Jim Stute is from Wisconsin. He's a farmer and research agronomist. So he's looking at conservation practices and how they can have a positive ROI. Again, that one just registration is required. It's free to attend, free barbecue dinner that comes along with it. QR code's up there for registration. It's also up on the Cane DuPage website too. And then lastly, we have our election for the districts. So candidates are able to submit up until January 21st. There's 3 seats up for our board for this election this year. Petitions are available at the office for our normal working hours. You just need proof of residency or land ownership and 25 supporting signatures to be on the ballot. Election day is going to be on Tuesday, February 10th, and we have 2 polling places at the Cane DuPage District Office, as well as out in DuPage County at the Farm Bureau on Gary Avenue. And then, so anyone for voters just need to be 18 years of age and occupy or own land within the Cane or DuPage County districts. And I think that is it that she has prepared for me for that. So
How much land do you have to own?
so I think as long as you own land, you don't necessarily either that or you reside on land. So if you live within Cane or DuPage, and then I don't know exactly if there's a certain amount.
There is no requirement.
Yeah.
It's just
So,
theoretically, you could buy 1 square inch of
okay,
DuPage.
all right.
County.
Well, occupy means you could just be a tenant too, right?
Yes.
Right.
So yeah.
So
if you
basically,
rent-
anyone that's
Yeah.
breathing, who's over 18,
That lives,
who doesn't live in the water.
Or an apartment.
Oh, no, an apartment.
An apartment, yeah, if you do,
Minimum, yes.
Okay,
Apartment, no.
okay, so you
The
can't live
owner
on
of
a
the
boat
apartment.
or an apartment.
if you reside in the counties though, you're still able to,
So if you're in an
same way,
apartment
if-
and you reside in the county?
yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
and do we often get enough people to run for this?
Depends. We've
Okay.
had, so I've worked with the district for about 2.5 years, so 2 elections through there. The first year I was there, we had 6 people on the ballot for 3 positions. And then
Wow.
last year we just had 2 people on the ballot for 2 positions.
And-
So
What is your job exactly if you were to get elected?
So we have a board of directors. It's 5 residents or landowners within the county. They essentially direct the business of the district. We're a local government agency that looks to look for soil and water conservation practices. We do a lot of different work with a lot of different entities. So essentially, you'd be one of the directors that would direct our progress moving forward. So we have 4 full-time employees that would report directly to our board of directors and kind of guide the future of the district for that.
And what's the time commitment for that?
So we have at least board meetings once a month.
Okay.
They're not necessarily required to be at every single one. We're looking into guidelines to see exactly how many are needed. So at least one hour a month for that. Usually it's a little bit more, depending on the amount of projects that we have going on. We're currently in our strategic planning work right now. So that's a little bit more time intensive and a little bit more focused on that. But ideally, we like to have people kind of be involved. We do have associate director positions too, which are not elected. So if anybody's interested in those positions, those are welcome, and the board meetings are open and posted. January 8th, I believe, is our next one. So it's always, or typically the 2nd Thursday of the month that we have those.
Okay, great. I would suggest, just from a governance standpoint of doing this for years, don't limit how many meetings
Okay.
they need to be at their
Right.
meetings. If they're not going to,
Yeah.
they're
and
gonna
it's
sign
just-
up for it, they need to be there.
It's mostly,
So,
yeah, it's mostly that.
yeah.
Okay.
So don't make it easy for them. If they're gonna commit, they need to commit. Unless they're dying, which of course, then they can have time off, but, okay. Any other questions?
Madam Chair?
Miss, yes?
Yes, my wife was on the Soil and Water Board for a number of years. One of the
Could you use
things
your
they
microphone?
do, at least they used to do, is to review the soil and water reports that are issued by the
Yes.
district for virtually any kind of development. And as I recall, they used to review those theoretically before the meeting, someone would read them at the
Okay.
meeting.
Good.
Yeah, so those are natural resource inventory reports.
Okay,
So any
great.
changes zoning or new development that's proposed.
They're the ones that always say you can't have basements,
Okay. Well, we'll know to blame Maureen for no basements in King County.
not anymore.
Okay, we won't blame Maureen. All right, Mr. Leonard.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Got a question for you on one of your slides a few back when you were talking about the farm weatherization rebate.
Yes.
What is the criteria for that? And is that an annual rebate that is available?
I don't, so it was a grant funded with Kane County. And you may be able to speak on it a little bit more than I do too. But essentially it's for, programs for, I don't know the exact, Cat would have a little bit more information. And you can call into the district too, but essentially if you have a farm and you're looking to winterize or increase the weatherization with either on the actual farm or I think it's residents as well, as long as it's on there. And then it can be do it yourself, or it can, as long as you have a certified contractor and have that amount of information, then there's certain levels that you can have a rebate.
So that's like windows insulation.
Windows
just
insulation,
Standard.
standard winterization,
Okay.
weatherization type.
Okay,
things.
and Mr. Kenyon, you didn't put in for that?
We did that long ago.
Ah,
I've been around a long time. We
okay,
winterized when it was not fashionable.
okay. All right, cool. Any other questions? Do you have anything else for us?
That's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Thank you. All righty. Brings us to our favorite time of the day, our Northern Illinois Food Bank with Rob. It's good news today, right?
It's not bad news.
Okay, good.
Well, thanks, everybody. And just another thank you to Chair Pirog for that roundtable we had last month. There were a couple of staff from the governor there, and then we ended up getting a meeting with the governor. He came out to our Crystal Lake Food Pantry. And so that just spawned out of that roundtable. So just
Excellent.
good things beget good things, right? So I just appreciate that effort.
I'll pass it on. Thank you.
Yeah. So just some numbers. November was a little bit busier than most months. We were up about 6.5% in our neighbor serves. We average about 570,000 neighbors served per month. In November, we served about 608,000. And so that was, we think primarily due to the first few weeks of the month with the government shutdown still going on and people not receiving SNAP benefits on time. Kane County was similar. We serve about 79,000 neighbors a month in Kane County. And we served about 84,000, 6.3% increase. So it's pretty similar in Kane County. And we are distributing about 6,500 holiday meal boxes in Kane County. So those are out at pantries. We distribute those to pantries and then they have distributions for those. So we've given out about 6,500 in Kane County. And, and I remember the Aurora superintendent, Robert Halverson, he was at the round table at Crystal Lake. So we brought him along in there too. So
Oh, excellent. He's very infectious.
he was great. I mean,
He's wonderful.
yeah, it was mostly for sad reasons. He had the really sad story about the ice activity in front of the school and everything. And
Yeah.
so he got to tell the governor that story. So that was,
Good. I dropped off 500 of those cards, the ice cards, so that he could make sure that his families had that.
that's great.
Because it's just wrong.
I know.
It's just wrong. So any way we can help is great. And he's a wonderful advocate for his family.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that we need to do that. And then just kind of looking forward to SNAP work requirements kicking back in. I think of the 55,000 Kane County SNAP recipients, we think about 10,000 of them are at risk of losing benefits once they exhaust their 3 months of eligibility. So just that's kind of on the horizon. We did get some encouraging news from IDHS. So people have been submitting waivers to get exempt from work requirements. And they've accepted over 100,000 of those so far. And so putting that into some kind of a picture, there are going to be a total there's 1.9 million SNAP recipients. There are about 450,000 of those who are considered the ABODs, the able-bodied adult without dependents. Those are the people who have to meet work requirements in order to get SNAP. And so accepting over 100,000 waivers, those waivers reduce the number of people who have to meet those requirements. So keeping people on SNAP. And so I think that's a good thing. Maybe other people disagree, but everybody should get it, eat. So yeah, I think that's some good news, and that number will keep changing. And so ultimately reducing the number of people who are at risk of losing benefits. So I think that's a good thing.
That's an excellent thing. People should not be hungry, and kids shouldn't be hungry because they can't learn if they're hungry.
I agree. I know that was one of Robert Halverson's points as well.
Yep. Got to feed them.
Yep.
Do you have anything else for us?
No, just short and sweet. I think.
So I hear
Uh-oh.
that you guys had a 300 pounds of food donated by some littles from the Goddard School.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, you didn't know?
I did not know this.
Oh.
I'm not up on my food. All right.
Right?
Very cool.
Yes, Mr. Shepro brought that for me today. And I thought for sure you were going to be the one that congratulated the littles for collecting all that food, but that's okay. We'll congratulate them. So hopefully we can, I'll send them off a little note thanking
Yes.
them for their enthusiasm, their participation, and their dedication to humanity. And see if we can get them to a meeting.
No, this
And
is
then,
great.
yeah, isn't that cool?
That's awesome. I have a
Yeah.
3-year-old in daycare in Aurora, and what's he doing?
He's a slackard, apparently.
Ain't anything.
No, he don't. You need to put the screws to that child. He needs to
He's
start-
doing a lot of taking. Thank you for sharing this, though. This is
You're
really
welcome.
cool.
Thank Mr. Shepro, our historian. So, okay. Do we have anything else?
Every
Because
day.
what was that?
History is made every day.
History is made every day by the most unlikely of our people. So, okay. So we actually had a good food bank.
Yeah.
This was good. Thank
That's
you.
good. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't bring it down. I do have
No,
one
no.
question.
All right.
No, it's a
any-
holiday.
Any news on the SNAP error rate for Illinois? I haven't seen anything in the news.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any news on that for a little bit. There's such a lag time. So when they pick, they pick random, the board that reviews these cases, they pick random cases. So whatever rules that IDHS is implementing now, those will obviously take effect for new cases. But if they can pull old cases. So some of this there's going to be a few months of lag time before we're sort of in a fresh pool, if you know what I mean, with the new rules, cases with the new rules. And they have not updated us on, to my knowledge, we meet with them weekly, so they haven't updated us on any kind of error rate change. And I suspect it will be maybe some type of middle next year before we get some kind of update on that, because it's just not again, it was never meant for this. So it's not a reactive thing.
So it could be next fiscal year, federal fiscal year, probably, that would take effect on, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Yeah.
So that's actually good news. It's gonna delay it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Wow. We've gone through our partners. Now we're at, our Farmland Protection Program report. This is very exciting. We were asked for updates, and this is a response to our ask.
Good morning, everyone. Sari Castro, Farmland Preservation for King County. It is an ask, but I did present last year as well with some updates. Usually I do once a year because, as mentioned, it does take about 2 years from application all the way to closing for any updates. So I usually just do an end of the year update. Okay, so the first slide, there's actually a little typo, but I'll go through the pie chart. So currently we have 6,000 acres protected, 1,000 that are in progress. There's actually 1,000 in the waiting list and 245 acres interested. The acres interested means that I have spoken with them, but they just haven't submitted an application yet. The 1,000 that are in waiting, I've spoken with them and they have submitted an application. So for the outreach impacts, I did put last year's numbers so that you can just compare to how we did this year. Doesn't look that great, but as you know, we did have a lot of obstacles this year. So individuals touched by outreach activities, there was 4. We were able to visit 2 new farms, 260 acres engaged by outreach activities, and I was not able to speak with anyone in the historically underserved farmers this year. So some of the challenges in the farmland protection program that I've noticed and just working previously with the NRCS, they have very similar challenges. The first one is that the USDA provides 50% of the funding of the appraised value. And then the county's policy is a minimum of 5,000 per acre. So meaning that if an appraised value comes back at 3,000 an acre, the USDA puts 1,500 and we put 1,500 plus the additional to make up that 5,000. The second challenge is the staffing at USDA and the county as well. It's very limited. And we also had the government cutbacks and shutdown this year. And then the final challenge that I just see within the USDA and with the program is the limited number of field experts who fully understand the USDA requirements, as well as an overall shortage of qualified specialists, such as appraisals really is the biggest one that has the biggest requirements for USDA. And lastly, coming in 2026, as you know, the 2018 Farm Bill got extended again up to September 30th of 2026. So hopefully we'll be able to get a new Farm Bill this year. And then we will see some soil health assessment results, which were previously talked in other ag committee meetings. This is with NVA, who's a contractor for King County and Delta. Matt and I got to go out. We did perfect timing before the blizzard came, and we were able to get 4 soil samples from 4 different farms, which will remain anonymous. But we got a baseline soil sample as well as depending on their operation, we got a different type of sample. So we'll compare and contrast those two, and excited to see what the results will show. And that's it. If you guys have questions.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
I have one question and I just lost my screen.
Good report, though.
Yeah, it's a great report. Let me find my screen. When you talk, how many historically underserved farmers does King County have? I know that there's some counties that have quite a few, but what do we have here?
That's a great question. I don't know that.
Okay.
I have that.
Alrighty. Anybody else on deck know that? No? Okay.
I'd like to know what the definition of it is.
Go ahead.
Historically underserved, USDA defines it, and I had that last year, but I don't even, I wouldn't be able to give you the actual definition because I don't want to screw it up. But yes, USDA does have that definition on their website.
Matt.
I can just add generally that it includes groups that are traditionally underrepresented in farming. So that's minority groups, veterans, women, I believe, are some of the represented demographics.
Kind of figured that, but just wanted to check.
They have like veteran farmers, ranchers, foresters. It's way too much for me to go through in a moment. Ms. Allen, do you have a
Yeah, this is so basic, but how many acres do we have in our farmland protection?
You got to use your mic. We cannot hear you.
How many acres do we have currently protected by our farmland preservation?
So we have
6,000?
6,000 and 1,000 in progress. So we usually say 7,000 acres protected. And there's a 158,900 ag assessed acres, which is about 47% of the county. And with our 7,000 acres protected, about 2% is protected overall. Very small, yes.
We need to start selling baked goods to get more money so that we can get more land protected. So yes, Mr. Collins.
Does that include the farmland that the Forest Reserve owns that they rent out as agricultural property?
Yes, this is open space and farmland.
Okay.
Any more questions? No? Anything else? Okay. All right, that gets us to Matt. Our Ag Committee goals. I'm going to turn it over to Matt.
It's good morning, everyone. So this is a follow-up to the discussion that was held last week. So there was some good discussion around the goals that were presented for the Agriculture Committee to focus on in 2026. So there are really just a few minor adjustments based on that discussion that were made. I'd be happy to spend time if anybody wants to go back over the goals that there was agreement on, but I thought it would be best just to focus on the changes that were discussed. So the first one was on goal number 1, farmland protection. And this was just to add emphasis on the role of the Farmland Protection Commission and make note of the fact that it works collaboratively with the Agriculture Committee. So that's obviously an important institution within the county. So we wanted to make sure that that is acknowledged.
Are we going to do these one at a time? Like, is everybody okay with this one? Okay. All right.
I do have one.
What do you got?
Could we add something to shoot for? Like, we're gonna try to get 1,000 more acres next year, or?
That's not our job as the committee,
No, but it's a goal.
but this is the committee goals.
I understand.
So that would be maybe a goal for them in their department.
Well, and
They-
they report for us. So
Right.
they will report back, well, we're making it or we're not, and here's why not.
Right, but this is the committee goals. This is something
I
that the
understand.
committee, and we don't do that unless you want to make us set an amount that,
Well, it's working with them on their goals
right, but
and shoot for something. As there's pie in the sky, we're going to add more acres.
they need to shoot for something.
I agree. And so we should get the number from them.
Right, but I don't think that needs to be in our goals.
Okay.
Because that's not something that's under our purview. This is, the committee goals are things that the committee can do when we meet together as 7. And if you want us to add determining how much land has to be covered, then that's kind of different than what we do. We generally let staff tell us.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for staff to come up with a number to shoot for. That's
Okay.
all.
So
I mean, they're not going to get punished if they don't make it or anything, but versus open in, we're going to add more acreage.
right.
Do we think we'll get 2 more acres next year or 500?
Okay, does anybody else, so we're going to do a majority here. Does anybody else think that the Ag Committee should put an amount of acreage in our farmland protection?
Or
goal?
% or whatever. I'm looking for the team to say,
Well,
what do we think
but
we
what
can
you're
do?
asking us to do is
Right.
you're asking us as a committee to put a set amount in our goals. So if the majority of our board members who are here think that's a good idea, then we can pursue that. If the
Okay.
majority of the board members do not think that's a good idea, we will not pursue that. So
And that's fine.
I would leave it up to staff. I mean, we're here for, 1.5
so you would
hours a
be,
month.
so you would be a no.
I would be a no.
You would be a no. Mr. Leonard,
No.
No, Ms. Allen?
Until we can get a whole bunch more money from the feds, I'm a no.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with
And
it.
I'm a no. So,
That's fine.
so can we then agree
Yeah,
that
then
this?
go on.
Okay. All right. So we're all good with this one? Okay.
Okay, so moving on. So the next one was growing for cane. It seemed like there was consensus on this at the last meeting, but I'd be happy to, if anybody has any additional comments on this, I'd certainly consider those. If not, then the next goal, the third goal did have an adjustment to include farm practices. So that was just a minor change to kind of broaden the scope of what funding advocacy could include.
And we did strike thriving. So those were good changes that were suggested.
So, yep, and removing thriving, yep, for sure.
Right. So on this one, anybody? Because I know those are changes we heard from the other side of the room, and I think they're good changes. So we good?
We're good.
Okay.
Right. And then just to go through the next two, the fourth one was oversight. This was another one where there seemed to be good consensus from the committee on this, so I don't need to read through it. And the last one was raising awareness of agriculture. So again, yeah, just focused on promoting agriculture, the industry, the importance both historically and being a sustainable source of healthy foods. So if there's nothing further on that, I think we'd be looking for just consensus from the
Consensus.
committee.
Yeah. So these would go in effect on our January goals. They would stay through 2026, and which time in November and December we would go through the process again. So do we have consensus? These are okay?
Good goals. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for really working on that. We had a lot of time invested in those actually. So, and that's going to bring us to our new business, which is our ordinance change, which, we kind of came out of the conversations about the working group conversations about the goals, that we realized that maybe our ordinance didn't actually reflect what we currently do. And so we've had some changes put in. We talked about them last meeting. They got kicked back. We worked on them a little bit more. Now we have, through the advice of our ASA and Matt and the team, we have two versions. The one, basically, it's a language difference, and we have version one, which adds that Kane County, it's land use in most townships, and then the other one is the largest land use. We'll put those back up. When you decide which ones we should go with, just remember, this is an ordinance. So if we need to change it because it no longer reflects our practices, it kicks off a long line of things. It's not like we can just suddenly change it 1 month. So we want to try to adopt a version. You can tell I kind of have a favorite. We want to adopt a version that's going to serve us the longest with the least possible negative consequences. So Matt, would you like to present?
Sure, you covered it pretty well, but I think, I don't know, Blair, if you can bring up the slides for that.
30 and 31.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be added to the
Okay.
exhibit after the committee decides. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so again, as Leslie noted, there were two versions of the ordinance language that were discussed at the last meeting. And the first is simply just is emphasizing that agriculture is a land use in most townships in Kane County. You can see the other changes that were already made to the existing version that had consensus. But this is the first version, is that focus on land use in most townships. And then the second version simply stated that that agriculture is the largest land use in the county. So it's a pretty simple distinction, but that was something that was discussed at length in the last meeting. And so you have the opportunity to decide which version you will select, and then that will be added to the exhibit in the agenda packet, and that will continue forward through the committee process to get approved by the county board.
So you guys get to decide.
I do have one question.
Sure.
Getting to what you said, Leslie, is there any possibility that agriculture will not be the largest land use, like say in the next 30 years? Probably not, right?
No guarantees.
Yeah, I mean, it's
We could,
highly unlikely.
there could be a huge influx with, climate change, people move into Kane County, but I just don't see it. But I was just getting to Leslie's point. If we don't want to change this again, if we have to change this again, maybe one of the largest land uses. I am fine with this. I'm voting for version 2. I think this is fine.
I don't see it changing in the next 30
Neither
years.
do I.
I do not see it changing in the next 30 years.
Mr. Leonard?
Neither do I.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I like version 2 also, and I think maybe just to protect ourselves against future amendments, if in that addition and is the largest land use, if we put and is historically the largest land use, that might really save any amendment concerns
Yeah.
down the road.
I like it.
Mr. Shepro?
As I understand it, the second largest is based upon what the current assessment category is.
I don't know.
That's
I
what
didn't.
Staff said,
What, is that what you guys went by?
was based on assessed. Correct?
That's.
I'm thinking land use.
I thought I heard
Land use is
somebody
acreage
say
to me.
that during the,
Land use
Yeah,
is acreage
that's-
to me.
well,
Right,
I
it's
guess my
not,
point is that it is very easy to get Mr. Armstrong to tell you what are the largest land use categories. And I suspect you are going to find that farmland is so far ahead of what's number 2 that you would conclude that it's unlikely, but you could do that before exec. And if something startled you, you could always amend it then.
Okay, I don't think we need to do that. I mean,
You wouldn't be interested in knowing whether it really is the second largest land use.
well, it's the largest land use
okay.
currently.
Yeah. Okay, that's,
So, I mean, do you want to just double check before we,
That's all he's asking.
you just want to double check?
To get the exact.
No, just to find out that
Just to
actually
find
it
out.
is the largest land use. We can just ask Mark Armstrong.
But we're not talking assessed valuation. We're talking acreage.
Grace.
Well, you can just look at the map and see that there's more land on the other side of Route 47 that's not developed. So, I mean, I think this might be one of those where we could just like look out the window and see what the weather's doing. But,
somebody's window.
you know,
If it is the interest of the committee, we could get the acreage for the total before proceeding. That's like we
just
could.
like a little
question.
footnote.
I'm not expecting anything to change.
We could just have like a little footnote, and then if we're surprised, we'll go, oh, and we'll kick it back. So maybe we just double check. Yes,
If I may, when we did put together the the economic development strategic plan in there, we did note that the agriculture is 50% plus of the land use in Kane County. So it's the majority as well as the largest.
and what did you use as your data collection?
Oh, I don't remember, but.
You checked, right? It's
Yeah,
not like you just walked out there and looked past
Oh, correct.
47 and
We-
said,
we
okay.
spent a year and a half on that.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's already been in the adopted strategic plan.
Okay.
then, of
So
our land
w-
use.
is that enough of a check for us that they did their homework? Okay. Ms. Allen?
I really like adding the historical. And because I'm historical, I'll share why. This committee was created. And I'm sure there are many reasons why committees are created. But a large reason why this committee was created was to acknowledge how important agriculture is to this county. You have plenty of counties in the south who are mostly agriculture, but up in our area, to have this wonderful mix of heavy urban and suburban and developing, and then all of that land is just so vital that that's why this committee was created. So that's why I'd like to toss in Bill's suggestion and approve this for the future that as we see it.
Thank you. We are unique. We are. And there's lots of counties that have farmland and don't have an ag committee. And it's like,
What?
And we're the only one.
right. So are we all okay with adding historically the largest land use?
Okay.
Yes.
There's a little trivia added. We are the only one in the
In the
state.
state of Illinois, and that came out probably 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe by now there are counties that have ag committees, but we were unique in Illinois.
Because they want to chase us. Because when you're doing great stuff, people want to follow.
We are the
Yeah.
only county in the 6-county area that does not consider agricultural to be a holding category for.
No, I do know that. We are not a holding category. We take it very seriously. No farms, no food. Take that seriously. Okay, are we all good with this? So we can send this through the myriad of ordinance committee hopping? Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work on that. And thank you, everybody, for letting,
We don't have to vote on this?
Question.
we do have to vote on it because it comes in as new business, but I just wanted to
Got it.
thank us because we are the only committee that has really dug in and looked at our ordinance, looked at our goals and taken everybody's suggestions in. Bill, I'm sorry, I loved your suggestion, but not for a policy issue. So I think it's great for them to throw in. They should have it as a goal. Absolutely. But I'm a policy
that's
person,
fine.
so,
I
you know,
understand.
okay, Mr. Shepro.
Yes, I just, clarification. I heard suggested that the word historically be added. Was that a consensus? Is that an amendment?
Well, it will have to be an amendment, but we haven't even asked for an amendment first to talk about this. So,
You mean you haven't asked for a motion?
well, yeah, I will ask for a motion and then we
Right.
can do the amendment, then we can vote on an amendment, then we can vote on our original motion. So,
Okay,
but-
Roth will make the motion.
okay, so you're making a motion for our ordinance?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Leonard will second.
Okay, do I have someone that would like to make an amendment? Mr. Leonard, you'd like to make an amendment?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to amend version 2 to include in the additional verbiage a leading industry in Kane County and is historically the largest land use.
Okay, do we have that? All right,
And Roth will second.
Ross, the second. Is there any discussion on the amendments?
No.
No? All right, will you call the roll for the amendment, please?
Allen,
Alan, aye.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Pennises,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Juby.
Juby, aye. Okay, now we have to go back to the
So what-
motion
So we'll
to,
amend the
we already
motion.
amended it.
Right.
Now we have to make a motion to approve
Right.
either
Oh.
Exhibit A or Exhibit B because we have not chosen that yet. We have amended the second one.
I understood it. The
We-
motion was to approve
Version
version
two.
B.
Yeah.
That was not my understanding. My understanding
I
and the
will-
amendment was we changed version
Version
2,
two.
but we had not taken a formal motion on whether we were going to do 1 or 2.
Okay.
There
I
was a
will make-
motion made to approve Motion version 2.
Oh, I did
Then
not
it
hear
was
that.
amended.
I will amend
Okay.
that so it
Okay.
states that.
So what
So
we're
the
voting.
motion is for version 2,
Version 2.
the
okay,
amended version.
The amended version. All right. And Bill, you're the second on that?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? No? Okay, we're ready for roll.
Allen,
Ellen, I.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Penisys,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Juby.
Juby, aye. All right. Great. So we've just changed to version 2 that's been amended. It's going forward. Excellent work before the holidays. All right. Do I have a motion to to place reports on file?
Genesis will move for unanimous consent to place reports on file.
Second? No, you don't need a second. Never mind. Okay. We do not need an executive session. And as this is the last ag meeting of 2025, I wish you all a healthy and prosperous new year.
And safe.
Safe, of course, we always do safe. And,
And with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
all righty. Do I have a second?
Leonard will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
Excellent. All right.